Hi everybody, today we're going to dive back in the world of text-to-speech and we're going to take a look at a tool called ClaroSpeak US. I think there's also ClaroSpeak UK and some other countries as well, but we're going to focus on ClaroSpeak from the US. This is a pretty neat app because it's versatile. It does a couple of different things. It allows you to read any accessible text. You can pull it into this app and have it read back out loud. It also has a word prediction component that you can add to it to help with writing, and then it builds itself as a tool that allows you to play back for editing purposes anything that you write, and also it allows you to create audio files as well. So we're going to dive in and take a look at this. We'll open up ClaroSpeak US. While it's opening, I'll tell you, it does cost. It costs $5.99 for the app. To add word prediction, it's another 99 cents that you purchase once you're within the app. But this is what ClaroSpeak US looks like when you open it up. The first thing we're going to take a look at here is this button right here. It's the file folder. That's going to allow you to open things. As with a lot of these text readers, one of the things you're going to want to have is a Dropbox account. You're going to want to link your Dropbox account to ClaroSpeak, because then what we can do is we can take any text, put it in a Dropbox from our computer, from our PC, from anywhere, and then we can open it up within ClaroSpeak. As long as it's accessible text, as long as it's not a PDF that's recognized as an image, we can pull it into ClaroSpeak. So let me just hit open from Dropbox here, and you're going to see here's my Dropbox that I've got it connected to. I can go into here and find an article, and I'm going to open that up, download it directly into ClaroSpeak. So what it does then, when it pulls this in, is it actually takes your text and it kind of separates it from the PDF. We could actually edit this if we wanted to once it's in here, but we've got our PDF. If we look down on the bottom, it shows us it's a PDF right here, and over on the far side here, we've got an arrow to turn the page. So if we go and we hit this button to turn the page, we'll get to where they have some text here. We'll see. We get to the point here where we start the chapter. So now if we want to have this read out loud to us, we go and we tap where we want to start, and you see up in the top corner there's a play button here now. If we go up here and we hit play, it's going to start reading that for us. And you can see as it's reading, we've got it highlighting right now. So that's not a bad name, or that's not a bad sound. It's got a pretty good voice to it. It's got the highlighting where it's going through and highlighting as it reads so that we can follow along. Let me show you something about the highlighting here. If we go up to the I, that'll get us to our settings area. If we hit settings and we go down here to synchronized highlighting, we can highlight by word, which is what it was doing there. It was highlighting the actual text was changing color. We can do a word trail. What a word trail is going to do is it's going to leave anything that is already read highlighted as it goes along and does that. Or we could have the sentence highlighted as it reads. So we've got different options there. We can also go in and change the color. So here's what we have. The text color right now is blue when it highlights it, but we can change it to any of these colors. And then beyond that, we can change the background color. So I have it highlighting in yellow, the background around the word itself in blue. We could change it to any of these colors to benefit the user however they would like. Also, while we're reading, if we look up here, we've got different voices we can use. If we hit voice name, here's the built-in ones: Jill, Samantha, and Tom in English, Javier and Paulina in Spanish. We can purchase other apps or other voices in other languages if we need to do that as well. And then the other option here is speaking rate. Right now it's set at 180 words per minute. So we have words per minute that we can choose, but it's kind of just a finite area within this where we can do 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, or 240. We can't adjust it too much, but we've got some adjustment there, and that words per minute gives you a better idea of kind of how it's going through and reading. So those are just a few of the settings that, well, I guess one more setting that we'll show you here. We can change the text color and the background color if we need this to stand out. So we've got the text color is black. We can change that to any of those colors available there. The background color, we can change that to anything available here. We can also change the font, both the size and the type that it's reading. And that Open Dyslexic, we've seen this in some of our other apps. this is that dyslexia font that makes it easier for somebody who has dyslexia to be able to read this. So this is really a nice tool to give access to reading to somebody with dyslexia. So we'll change it to that dyslexia font, and you'll see it changes that on my screen if I go ahead and hit play. Now you're starting to see that highlighting in blue and yellow there as we go through and read. So that's great because we can pull anything into Dropbox, we can load it up in here, and then we can go ahead and have it read out loud. It does make some mistakes with recognizing text when it does this, but for the most part it does a pretty good job recognizing it when it makes the conversion. What's cool about this though too is we open up this PDF in here, and the way that it converts it, we can now edit this within this document if we want. So if we wanted to edit where it says, teacher education programs, maybe we wanted to edit that and say teacher education programs in college settings. We can go and we can hit the pencil. We don't even have to hit the pencil. We can just tap right next to this, and it's going to pull up our cursor, and we can start typing in college settings. And we've got now we've got that added, and we can save this back into Dropbox. It won't save as a PDF now, but it'll save back into Dropbox as something else if we wanted to do that. So that brings me to something else I wanted to show you, and kind of the next step that I wanted to show you in here, and that's the writing step and how this can help with writing. Now, one of the downsides to this is we don't have the capability to just open a clear document in here. We have to pull in something and then clear text to be able to write. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the open button and tap on that, and I'm going to now hit the, instead of open from Dropbox, I'm going to hit open text file. And this is going to give me text files. These are ones that I've saved within ClaroSpeak. They're not saved in Dropbox. These are strictly in ClaroSpeak. So I'm going to open up a short text sample here, and I'll show you kind of what we would do is if we wanted to start writing in this. If we wanted to start writing in this, we could hit the, and I'm going to just copy all of this first to make sure that we've got it here, so when I come back, I can do that again. But I'm going to hit the pencil, and it's going to say clear text, so we can wipe all that text out of here. Now we've got an open document that we can go ahead and type into. That's one of the downsides here. We can't just open up a fresh document. We've got to dive in and open it that way. I'm going to hit that pencil again. I'm going to hit paste, and we're going to put that back in there. So now we've got this short piece of text. If I wanted to keep writing here, you can see on the top of my keyboard the word prediction pops up. So I could start saying this and use my word prediction is a, and then we want to say test. And I'll find test and pop it in there, and now I've got that. That sentence written in there. You heard it was speaking as I typed, because I have it. If we go back into settings, I have it set down here under typing echo to echo every word as I type it. We can turn that off if we want, but we can leave it on, whatever we want to do there. We could also have it echo sentences if we wanted to echo a whole sentence after we were done typing that to hear what we had written. Now, word prediction here, again, that's a 99-cent add-on. You have to add it through a store. I'll show you where that is in just a second. But you can turn the word prediction on or off. You have to choose a dictionary. So you can choose a large U.S. dictionary or a small U.S. dictionary. And you can have it learn as you type. So it's going to start guessing by frequency of what you use and start using some of the words that you type as well. One of the downsides to word prediction is if I started typing of, there's no way to listen to what these words are. If you tap and hold, it's gonna put it directly into the document. There's no way to listen before choosing as to what that word is. So you have to choose it, listen, and if you don't want it, then you have to remove what you have here. The other nice component of this is if you look down at the bottom of the keyboard, if you're using an iPad 3 or the new iPad, I guess what they're calling it, it's got the speech recognition on here. We can use Apple's speech recognition directly into this to write. So we could say of the word prediction within this app. And so then then we can go back and we can tap at the beginning of our sentence and play.
is a test I love the word prediction within this app.
And we can hear that part of that was incorrect. And so we, let me get back to where that is. Sorry, there we go. So then we hear that that's a mistake. We can go back and correct that and put in of. So what that, being able to use that word prediction is a nice tool. So for somebody with a learning disability, we've got the capability to listen to text. We've got the capability to write with having things repeated so that you can hear what you've written. We also have the capability to use that word prediction and to incorporate speech recognition into that, making this a really powerful app for $5.99. Now another thing that we can do with this is if we hit that, you notice when you hit our open button here, we can see there's an open audio file. If we go to the other side of our screen over here, you can see there's two ways to export things here. And we're going to look at this first one. The first one, we've got several options here. Save as text file. If we hit save as text file, we're going to take what we have here and save it within this app, within ClaroSpeak as a text file. If we want to save it as an audio file, we can hit save as audio file, and we'll just call this test and hit save. And now we've saved this into ClaroSpeak as an audio file that we can listen to later. So if we hit view, what's going to happen is we've got now this audio file that pops up on here. If we hit play, it's going to start playing that out loud for us. Downside to this, we don't see that slider bar, so we can't fast forward to a point that we want. We just have to listen to the entire thing. If we pause and hit play, it's going to head, let's see if we pause and hit play, it'll pick up at the spot where we left off. If we hit stop, it's going to bounce right back to the beginning. But what this can do is we can turn what we have on here into an audio file so that we can listen to it when we're on the road, so that we can listen to it while we're somewhere where we don't need to be reading along as well. But we have that capability to turn it into that audio file there. Another option that we had up here, you can save this to Dropbox, so we can send it back to Dropbox and open it up somewhere else if we need to. We also have save to prediction. So with save to prediction, if we hit save to the dictionary, this is going to save what we've written in here to the dictionary that we have within ClaroSpeak. What this is going to allow us to do then is once it saves, when we go back to type and we begin using our word prediction, we're going to start seeing words that we've added in here. So in my case, I've got up here, you see my last name. That's not typically going to be in the dictionary. That should pop up when I start typing within this after I save the dictionary into ClaroSpeak. Same with things like assistive. That's not a word that's generally going to pop up in the dictionary. When I save this into my ClaroSpeak dictionary, it's going to start recognizing that. So we can improve the word prediction and how it works as well. And it's taking a little while to do this. So I'm going to see if I can just close out of this and see if we come back if it's still doing that. And if not, I did save that piece a little bit earlier. So we should be able to, here, let's totally close this down. Sorry, this will just take 1 second. We'll close it out there, and then we'll go back in, and we should be able to get to this pretty quickly now. So there's what we had. I did actually save that into my word prediction earlier. So now you can see if I start typing my last name, it's going to pop up right here within our word prediction list because we had saved that text into our word prediction dictionary. The one other thing I was going to show you with this, if you hit info and you go to store, what this has is this is where we can buy some of our add-ons. This was where one of the options before, if we hit add-on features, word prediction, that's 99 cents. You would choose that. It would add it in here after you buy your initial, after you buy ClaroSpeak originally. Add-on voices, here's all our add-on voices. You can see there's several different countries, different languages in here, and you can see they're all about $2 to purchase those. I don't think we have any other U.S. voices in here. I think we have all the ones that they offer built directly in. But if with the voices that you have here, if you have text in those languages, it will read that out loud in that language if you want to add that on to what you've got in ClaroSpeak. So overall, this is actually a pretty helpful tool. It allows you to take anything and read it. It gives you the word prediction for writing. There are a few drawbacks to it. But for the most part, this is a really helpful app. It's a great app. It's pretty inexpensive. So if you've got a student with a learning disability that struggles with reading and writing, this can kind of hit both of those angles for them, and I would definitely recommend taking a look at it. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email at james-stachowiak@uiowa.edu.